Hi, my name is Nathan Brown, and I am excited to be presenting these brief YouTube videos to help us all understand the legislative process here in the great state of Utah. There's a lot that's going to be happening this year, and my commitment is to try to report each and every day on what's going on within our session. So to get right into the matters, one of the first things that has happened is, of course, our governor has released his budget. Now, he announced that this budget was going to be $20 billion. Then he came out with it, and it looks like it may be closer to 18.5. So that in itself kind of opens up a very big question for me, which is it 18.5 or is it 20? Kind of a big difference there. You know, if I have $20 in my pocket versus 18.5, not a big deal. When we're talking about $1.5 billion, that is a big deal. But to jump into the matter, there are a lot of sources that are available for all of us to take a look at this. The most complete area that I personally have found that also allows you to make the most sense of this is called the Compendium of Budget Information. And I'll put the link right down below in this video. What you can do here is you're going to want to go ahead and click over on the financials part, and then you can scroll down and you can actually drill into each and every section of this compendium, which will allow you the opportunity to start to try to understand where in the world is all of our money going. Now, forever we've heard that the great state of Utah spends most of its money on what? Education. Well, that's not true entirely. The budget that is being called for this year is with social services will be at almost $6.5 billion on social services. Now, the majority of that money is going to be spent, of course, in Medicaid and Medicaid expansion. Almost $5 billion of that. So another area that we want to look at is, of course, education. And nothing is more on Utahns' mind currently than the state of our education. We did have that special session. The legislative body voted to pass House Bill 2001, which was going to be a tax restructuring. We were sold that that was going to be an initial $300 million savings with an ongoing savings of $160 million. But of course, Utahns did not like that we were going to start taxing food. Unfortunately, our representatives didn't listen to that. We started a referendum process that actually passed, but then the legislative body did something very sneaky, which was something that I hope most of us were ready for. And that was they have immediately come out with HB 185. And House Bill 185 is repealing House Bill 2001. And what that will effectively do is prohibit and remove any need, any necessity for a referendum to be on the upcoming ballot. So something that we were all sold, something that we thought, man, this is going to be great. Not so fast. Representative Francis Gibson, as well as Lyle Hilliard, have brought forth that bill. Now, it was actually heard this morning, but the bill sponsors chose to circle the bill, which means we're not going to hear it entirely right now. We'll come back to it later on. So stay on the seat of your pants for that fun one. But getting back to the compendium, if we drill into some of the things that we have going on here, the thing that strikes me as the most interesting for this particular budget is, again, the amount of money that is coming not only from Utahns, but is coming from the federal government. A large portion of this, over 30% of our budget, will be funded this year by the federal government. And all of us know the federal government is broke. So why are we continuing to take money from the federal government and then say Utah is fiscally responsible? Also, on the particular link that I'll put, again, down below, feel free to go through and look at everything you can think of. In here they have the $4.2 billion that it's going to be spent on the education fund. The other thing that we have is, of course, the $5.1 billion that's coming in the form of federal funds. In fact, it's $5,193,081,900 that we are counting on the feds to send over to us, which is also a little bit scary, to say the least, to me. But all of this is, of course, proposed by the governor. From here, this information will then be debated at a variety of different committees that are tasked with hearing from those that are seeking more funds or seeking the same funds to make that argument. So, if any of this is impactful to you, again, check out the links below so that you can get involved. You can go quickly to those committees. And if there's really anything I can inspire us as a voting populace to do, it's to make your voice known. I think our legislators need that. They need to know what we want. They need to know what we're thinking. They need to know what we're all about. And this is really the only way that we're going to get back Utah and get back the principles that make Utah great, the principles that we all support. And the only way we can do that is we have to get out of our armchairs. We have to be active. So my hope is that this channel can do that for all of us. I'm going to be taking time out of my day to watch the legislatures like a hawk, not listening to the local news, not following other outlets, but simply listening, simply watching, and assessing what happens on a daily basis. So today, 2 hours, the legislators received the budget. They reviewed that budget. They had some discussion about that budget. And then this afternoon, they actually considered over 20 bills, and they passed over 20 bills. The only bills that they didn't pass was one bill about tanning. We were trying to prohibit young people from being able to tan. That one didn't pass. And the other bills that didn't pass was because the bill sponsor circled those bills, basically saying, we need a little more time to consider this. We're not quite ready for the arguments today. But be on the lookout, because those bills should go to committee, should be properly vetted, should have all of the public input. So again, my name is Nathan Brown. I really appreciate you turning in to my channel. Look forward to your comments below on things that you may find interesting, things that you would like us to focus on. And we'll continue to drill into the numbers, continue to drill into factors that are really trying our liberty and stressing those things to each of us that can keep Utah great. Thanks so much, and we'll tune in tomorrow.